You guys ever dealt with a cheater and then somehow you're the one apologizing? Somehow you're the one asking for forgiveness? I feel like that is just like top tier manipulation. Finding ways to flip the script on you when you honestly weren't the cause or the problem of anything that happened. But it's something in the way that they articulate themselves, it's something in the way that a cheater or a narcissist presents themselves in a conversation or in debate or in high stress moments that makes you question yourself and ask, am I tripping? Am I overthinking? Am I not seeing the situation clearly? Whole time you seeing it for exactly for what it is, but they're planting seeds in you. But I feel like that manipulation doesn't start just when you find out they cheated. I feel like they plant seeds before you find out. So then when you do find out, those seeds of self-doubt, that seed of, just low self-esteem burst, in other words, when the bubble gets popped. A lot of us get cheated on but stay because we hope that we can fix the person, or we're hoping that we're crazy, or we're just letting outside manipulation get too deep into our psyche and it's making us question ourselves. But one of the biggest pains that you will ever feel while dealing with a cheater is when you know that they were cheating, but you allowed yourself to stay in that environment because you were living in delusion, you were living in self-doubt. Once you know something's going on, once you know something's fishy, once you know something isn't right, remove yourself and address it. Don't build this habit of staying with that person until you hate them. Some of us would rather deal with the pain of knowing our partner is cheating rather than the pain of leaving and actually addressing ourselves and healing from what happened so you can move forward. When people stay until they hate the person, that is a self-preservation act. They're trying to protect themselves more than they're trying to protect the other person, which, it happens, but it's okay. I know with me, when I really found out that I was getting cheated on, I went through this person's phone because they had put their phone in the dresser for some odd reason. I decided to go grab it. And when I went through it, I found videos and pictures and all that other type of stuff, right? I'm not gonna lie, it messed with my self-esteem and my pride and my confidence and everything else attached to that because it hit me at a time where I least expected it. It's always interesting when we see patterns of it, when we get clear signs that it's happening, but we don't want to believe it. We live in self-doubt because we don't want to hurt ourselves and actually go down that path of pain. In other words, we'll delay it. When you stay with people until you hate them and you ignore signs that, this is already happening and this is going to be a pill that I have to swallow at some point, but you deny that process because you're scared, you're living in fear, whatever the case may be. Once it's time to actually swallow that pill, it's going to be an even bigger pill to swallow. The longer you stay in relationships that are not good for you, it's going to be an accumulation of baggage that you eventually have to unpack. People don't always like to, quit and just throw in the towel super early, but in some situations it's better that you do throw that towel in sooner than later because it saves you a lot of heartache. Why them and not me? It's very hard to be when you're the only person that they see. That type of delusion will set a lot of people down a really tough trail, because you start comparing yourself in real time. And I notice a lot of cheaters, they have this tendency to cheat with people that honestly don't represent you. They like to do things with the opposite of you, which makes you question, well, did you even like me in the first place? Was I even something that you wanted to engage with? Am I even your type? Why did I allow myself to give myself to you in this facet and you aren't even, attracted to me? In other words, it will send you down so many loops and rabbit holes because you aren't able to pinpoint why this person is treating you the way that they are. But I always want you guys to remember that comparison, throw it out the window, right? It's only good when you're comparing yourself for self-improvement. It's not good when you're comparing yourself to justify somebody else's actions because you will never be able to justify somebody else's actions for them. They did what they did because they wanted to do it. That's the end all be all. So we have to allow ourselves to move and grow with grace. Stop holding on to these environments. Stop holding on to these people and stop comparing yourself because it's only going to take a direct hit on your mental health. The worse your mental health is, the harder healing is going to be, especially while you're in the relationship with the person. If you have bad mental health, the moment it's time for you to swallow that pill and heal, in other words, break it off, grow, whatever the case may be, it's going to be a hell of a lot harder because the very first step in healing is understanding your mind, taking back control of your mind, your spirit, your inner being. And then that strength exudes outward. It all starts in here, you guys. I've been making content for at least the last 5 years, right? And And I've learned a couple things while on this journey. The first thing that I learned while on this journey is that people like authenticity. I've had clips where I was over promoting it, I was over doing the production, everything like that, and they flopped. And then I'd have another gaming channel or something like that where I'm doing something so random and it does pretty darn well. That's because social media is a lot different from television. When you go on television, you're experiencing a very high polished, finished quality thing, and that's what you're expecting. You're not expecting that level of production when you open your phone. If you wanted that type of level of production, you would go to movie theaters, you would go actually watch TV. But even that, a lot of people don't even watch TV and Netflix anymore. They're on things like YouTube and TikTok. So authenticity is the very first thing that I've learned while doing the social media thing. The second thing I've learned while content creation is that the level of access is very small. If you make the right piece of content, if you say the right things, if you make the right visuals, whatever the case may be, you can get to whoever you want to in this world. When I say, I have this saying, if that person has a social media account, I can talk to them. And so far up to this point, I have proved myself to be true. Every single time I've shot a DM, every single time I've shot a shot, I've got an interaction back from that same person because social media is a big pool of people. I mean, you'll be surprised. These celebrities aren't just tapped out in the way that you think. They check their notifications, they check their tags, they check their DMs. Now it's up to you as a creator, it's up to you as the artist to make something that's worthy of them to react to, worthy of them to reach out to you for. Social media is an even playing field. It's not this super big barrier of entry when it comes to content, especially for artists and rappers and brand owners and all this other type of stuff. Use what you have, and I promise it's going to. You have to trust in yourself and believe in your product, believe in your videos, believe in your ideas, and then other people will gravitate to that. And one of the last things I've learned, which I feel like is very important during this journey, is being yourself. And the reason why I say that is because while you're making different pieces of content, while you're making different pieces of art, whether that's poetry, music, lyrics, content, drawing, I don't care what it is, it's going to require you to have a certain level of vulnerability because you're only going to truly be able to create from the truest essence of you. So once those pieces of art is created, you have to let it be. You can't judge yourself. You can't judge how you look, how you think, how you talk, none of that. It's kind of relevant to what you're trying to do. You have to actually tap into what your spirit is asking of you in that moment and exert it. Do it. And everything else, just falls into play. Once you start comparing yourself to other people and comparing yourself to the things around you, that's when this journey becomes difficult, right? Because now you're trying to live up to a standard or live up to a critique that's not you. Be yourself.